I'm going to show you the best Rocket League settings inside of this video. These settings will either improve your freestyle or comp drastically. I've done freestyle for around 5 years and I'll show you all of the best settings I've gathered from all of these years of trial and error. So make sure to like and comment on this video. Helps me a lot to the YouTube algorithm and hit my like target of 50 likes in this video. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe on this video. So these are the settings for Batmobile now, and Batmobile is in my opinion the best car for flicks in Rocket League, just like that. So I'm going to show you the best settings mainly for flicks with the Batmobile. So these are the best Batmobile camera settings in Rocket League. Starting off a field of view of 110, then distance of 270. 270 is so you can see a bit further out of the ball. This you can do better flicks and mainly see more around the field. These are mainly for competitive, so you can use these in comp, you can do these in ones, whatever. I think Batmobile is more of a competitive car rather than a freestyle car. That's why I've mainly made these settings for comp rather than freestyle. But you can switch them up a bit, so if you're doing freestyle with the Batmobile, maybe put them 1 or 2 more. But 270 is a good middle ground and good overall. So for height, I've got it 100. Most people do have it 110 for comp, but in my opinion 100 is the best for flicks in general. And that's because the camera is really in line with the car. This makes 100 really good for flicks because you can just see perfectly in line with the ball and car. This means you can do really good flicks, like breezy flicks like that, and just lots of different things. You can have it at 110 if you're used to it, but in my opinion 100's best for flicks and Batmobile's the best car for flicks. So it's a good trade-off in my opinion. You see a little bit less of the field, but you also have better flicks. It's a good trade-off. But it's just your opinion, your personal preference, what you want. So the next setting is angle. I've got angle at -4. If you're doing freestyle, maybe have a -5 instead. Some people like -3. -3 makes it even more in line with the car, but I like a middle ground of -4. I've always had -4, I've never changed it from -4, and I just think that's the best option in general. There's not too much else to say for angle. Some people have it -9 for flip resets, because you can see right on top of the car. So if you want to do flip resets with this, maybe have it like -9 or something, so you can really see on top of the ball and car when you do your flip resets. But apart from that, there's nothing else more for angle. Just have it at -4, it's a lot easier. Stiffness, I've got 0.25. This is how far the camera goes away from your car when you're either normally moving or when you're going supersonic. I have it at 0.25. For freestyle, I always have it at 0.45. But for comp, I've got it at 0.25. And as I said earlier, these settings are mainly for comp. So I just have it 0.25, nothing really special there. Swivel speed, I've got 1.4. This is basically how fast the ball and car moves like this. And I mean, the swivel speed is when you're moving your right joystick and this happens. I think that's a good trade-off, makes it look clean. I never really use that to be honest, but it's just personal preference. The bottom like 3 are just all personal preference really. These don't really matter at all. Transition speed, I've got 1.4 as well. Transition speed, as I was saying, is the flick between your car and ball. This is kind of important for comp as you don't want a higher one, otherwise it's just going to be slow motion how the ball and car goes between each other. So I think 1.4 is the best middle ground, it makes your clips look cleaner and it's just all round a lot better in my opinion. So now for inverted swivel. This is basically when you're doing air dribbles, it's basically how your camera moves when you're doing air dribbles. I actually think inverted swivel is a must to have on. So it's just your opinion really, it doesn't matter too much. It's the same for flip resets. If you're doing a lot of flip resets, mainly like the ones where you're not spinning properly, that's how your camera moves for the flip resets, and I think it is actually really important. A lot of people just leave the setting off and don't really think about it, So I just always have it on. I'm used to it now. And from whenever I've done air dribbles in the past, I used to try and be a long air dribbler where you just air dribble for ages. I'm not as good as them now, but I used to always have inverted swivel on for those and found it a lot better. So always have inverted swivel on. So now for my control settings. These don't matter at all. A lot of people tell you to put RB on boost. Just have boost on B. I have my arrow right on RB or R1 and arrow left on L1 or LB. This just makes it so much easier for me. I've tried boost on RB and I don't really understand why you would change it. It's just what people use to clickbait you to look at their videos. It really doesn't matter. Like, I've even clickbaited you on this video because settings don't matter either. Just use what you're used to. So on all of your control settings, just use what you're used to. Maybe get the basics down, like wave dash on L1. As I said before, arrow left on L1. If you have arrow left on L1 and power side on L1, makes your wave dashes look a lot cleaner and easier when you're doing them like this. I actually did this from a squishy video back in the day, and it is actually really helpful. So I'd recommend you change power side and arrow to L1, and a part of that it really doesn't matter at all. So these are all of my controller settings. Don't even know what half of those do. Steering sense and aerial sense I've got at 2. These don't matter too much, it's just personal preference, I was saying before. But I wouldn't have them above 3 in my opinion. It technically is better to have them higher, but it is also harder to have them higher. So I would always recommend you to have it around 2 instead of having them a lot higher. Some freestylers have them right up at 10. A lot of comp players have it right up at 10. But from my experience, I just find it a lot easier to have them a bit lower down, because I find it easier to air dribble. And I can't imagine not being able to air dribble, so then after that I've got controller setting, controller deadzone at 1.5. If you're doing comp, put this down to more like 0.8 or 0.05. But I just have it at 1.15. This is so I can do stalls, not like that. I feel like anything over 0.1 I can stall, anything under 0.1 I can't stall. So just play around, and I recommend you put the lowest setting before you can't stall. Then use that. I feel like that's the best option for you. So then for the other one, I've got it at 0.3 I think. Yeah, 0.3. I don't really know why. I've never really understood fully what this one does. So I feel like it's mainly just how light your car feels. And I feel like having a bit lighter 0.3 makes your car feel a lot better. I feel like when I put it up a lot, my car just feels really stiff and I don't really like it. So I feel like that's the perfect middle ground to have it around that. So around 0.3 is really good. Controller vibration disabled. This is weird, I might actually experiment with this because I've seen some better freestylers actually have this on. I don't really know why. Maybe it's so you can feel your car more. I don't know. When I say feel your car more, I feel with the controller, I'm not... Never mind. So apart from this, that's everything for control settings. And nameplate scale, I've got 120%. This is so when you're in comp, the opponents can see you a lot better. Time updates only. Team coloured boost meter on. These are my video settings, all performance. This is because I don't know, my computer's so rubbish that I just consistently lag if I have it on. But you might want the map to look a bit better, I don't know. It depends how try hard you are. If you're a complete sweat like me, you might want to have all performance on. If not, you might want to put the quality up a tiny bit. But who cares really? Audio, I've got everything on 0. I couldn't care less about audio or hearing my opponents. I'd rather just listen to music. So I never have audio on. But I probably would recommend you to have audio on and not be like me. Because I just couldn't care less if I win or lose, so... There's not too much else to say, that's basically all of the settings. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and sub. Comment below, it helps me a ton. And if you use Batmobile, comment down below because I'm genuinely interested, and I'll see you later.